Hello again, YouTubers. Okay, Tiny Hawk. As of right now, these are the reasons why you should not buy one. One, they're out of stock, so yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to find one unless you found it on Facebook like I did. I found a replacement for mine. A lot of people are going to be thinking, why the hell am I bitching like this if I bought another? Honestly, it flies great. It is very fun to fly. It's just lack of turtle mode. Modify it to get to 3 volts per cell. Got to modify it to get your battery to 3 volts per cell, which actually gives you the 4-minute flight time that they advertised. Proprietary propellers, no turtle mode. I think I already said that. I'm just trying to remember all the downfalls. The camera over time, as you wreck a lot. I've never had a quad where the actual lens of the camera kept getting shoved back towards the sensor, completely throwing my focus off. That happened so many times that my sensor, and I even super glued it, but the camera ended up hitting the sensor, cracking the sensor. The frame, I've already talked to many people, and they're pissed off at Emax just like I am. That's why I'm not buying this directly from Emax. The person who bought this is actually putting the money towards a Mobile 7. Mobile 7 has its own problems because from what I've been told, not what I know, what I've been told is because of the power and the speed that comes along with it, and basically what's happening is people are running out of ways to get frames. The 75mm frames. So that can be a bit of a problem. It's just they completely redesigned this. Great idea. Very poor implementation. Not having turbo mode, having to mod it with the 10 microfarad or millifarad, I think it's microfarad capacitor, and that's very small. So anybody that's new to this, I mean, if you're new to it, it probably is a good thing, but only a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes of flight time, no. Not for someone who likes to always be basically riding the plastic when I'm flying, which is keeping it at full throttle damn near the whole time. The camera has, you can't tilt the camera unless you undo it, get rid of this stuff down in here, and then just glue it in place, which is what I'm going to do with my next one, because I want 30 degrees, not 20. Wow, no parts. You cannot get parts for this as of right now. That is one of the biggest things. What is the point of something being called hobby grade if you cannot make it hobby grade by being able to get replacement parts and fixing it without having to completely replace it? Trying to remember everything. Now, I've already done one video, and I was really irritated, and I didn't want to offend anybody. But the props are, I have not bent or broken a prop. The only problem is you have the center shaft that comes out. It breaks around that center shaft. The props pop off if you crash decently hard. So that's a bit of a downer. It's just every time I crash, I'll push each prop back on. But in many ways, the negatives outweigh the positives if you're new to this hobby. It's just there are better things to go towards. There are many other micros. I'm actually selling a Beta FPV 1S F4 chip brushless board along with 6 URUAV 16, well basically Happy model, I believe, 17,000 kV motors. Can't find those in the States. No, you may be able to now. I don't know. I didn't know a lot of these. So many of these companies are Chinese. So, yeah, your money is going to the Chinese economy, not our American economy. The antennas. You have 2 antennas. You have the receiver antenna and you have the VTX antenna. Originally, Emax just had everything shoved up in here, in that tiny little shell right there. Well, I pulled mine out the back, and I have my receiver antenna come out this hole right here. I ended up making 2 more, hoping I can get it in that hole. I mean, coming out that hole, in this hole, then back out this hole. So it have better reception, because I did have some fail-safes because how they just jammed it up in there. The motors are very strong. They're actually 080 2.5s. They have bearings. Unlike any of these others, like these are 19,000 kV motors, 0603, no bearings, bronze bushings, but you can find bearings that fit. I don't remember what size they are off the top of my head. It's just, I like the idea of this. This is an awesome idea. Changing the path of the whoop. Getting away from actually making something that is somewhat aerodynamic compared to these blocky things that are weak, inherently weak. So if you're looking at getting one of these, by all means, it's your money. You can do what you want, but also remember there's a lot of people that don't have money to just go out and spend on a second one because their first one simply wouldn't power up. That's what happened to me this morning. After flying yesterday, I went to power up this morning. Flight controller would not power up. Tried plugging into the computer. Tried everything. Nothing. So I don't know what happened there. It has not got wet. I don't know. And Emax will be replacing this, but it's going to take them 2-3 weeks, if not longer, but at least then I'll get a version 2, so I'll have a version 1 and a version 2. And it would also be nicer for the VTX to be like 50 milliwatts. It's just, especially when you're flying in a house, you need, especially a larger house like mine, that's a really long one way. It would just be nice to have a little more penetration for more power. So you can always make sure you're getting your the best possible image you can, even though, yeah, we are still just using analog video to this day, which I'll never understand that, especially people keep saying, oh, that's not feasible. Bull. If you make it, people will buy it. That is one thing I have learned about anything in the hobby industry. If it's made, people will buy it. Look at the RC 4-wheel drive Hero truck. $900. You get a scale Raptor. $900, really? I can get an Emax for $900. I can get the 5T for $999 right now. The Veloci 5T. That's the price of this big thing. Well, not with everything I have in. This is my DVXO down here. Not everything I have into it. I've got a lot of alloy upgrades. But yeah, that's the lowdown of this, and these are the kind of videos that need to be made. It needs to be all the information needs to be given to the consumer. Then the consumer can go make a purchase based upon that information. How are we supposed to make a educated, informed decision on spending $100 on something that all you're really going to be doing is flying in the house when they lie? 4-minute flight times? No, not stock. It took so many people to the point that they are coming out with a version 2 already. This thing has not been out a month yet already, version 2. That's just sad, isn't it? Out of stock everywhere, because they're coming out with version 2. Parts, I've been told, have been shipped from China, but who knows how long it'll be till those get here. So, honestly, buying a second one, I'll have all these parts left over, a spare VTX. But yeah, I just hope people will take the information from this video and make a decision based on their skills soldering, because a 10 microfarad capacitor is very small. It's like 3 millimeters by 1 millimeter. So it's very small and very hard, but if you know what you're doing, it's easy. Basically put some flux down, take it, make sure you clean. Don't put too much heat to it, because as soon as you unsolder from one board, it's going to want to stick to your iron. Get it off immediately. Clean it up. Put it on top of the flux. It'll hold it in place. Then I use my fingernail to hold it down, and then add solder. Switch it, add solder, stays in place. But guess what? You're taking up the Spectrum receiver's voltage source. Yes, there are 5-volt Spectrum receivers. If you look up Grayson Hobby, they sell a longbow receiver. I can't even remember how much it is. I got one last year for my original Baby Hawk. The antenna, just the way it was built, was very cheaply built, but it still worked. If it's protected more, it'll work great. It's very irritating as a consumer that I find out that not only myself, but many other, you're basically the beta group. They should have done more testing, asked the community, and just gone from there. They shouldn't have just said, oh yeah, this is what we're going to do. They should have made it, okay, you can go to 3 volts, but if you do this one little thing, it'll only go to 3.4, so if your child keeps trying to push it too far, or 3.2. You can just set how long your child can fly before it'll kill the battery. Because, I mean, you run these batteries down to 3 volts too many times, they will die. I have a stack out on my front. Not a stack, about 10 of them. But they're only like $3 a piece. So they're dispensable batteries. I mean, that's what all these are. 1S 65 millimeter batteries. And I got a decent amount over here, even though I don't fly them anymore. And I think I've already said I am selling a Beta FPV 1S F4 brushless board along with 17,000 six 17,000 kV motors and 2 frames. One frame has no damage done to it, but it's used. The other one I have fixed, but I know a better way of fixing them now. So if anybody's interested, hit me down below. I'll get talking to you somehow. But yeah, that's it. Take the information, do with it what you will. Peace. Oh wait, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate, have a good holiday season, because that's what we're going right towards. And 2019, it's going to be here quick. I can't believe how fast 2018 has gone by. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Peace. Happy Holidays. No, Merry Christmas.